Hey guys, so I wanted to do a video talking about some of my favorite ways of attacking after I pass the guard, especially against someone who's being like overly defensive and keeping their elbows and knees really tight, right? So I'm going to go over here. So over here. So I'm a lighter guy, so I find one of the key factors to make someone give you a submission is you need to make them uncomfortable. Traditionally in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the points are awarded based off of the effectiveness of a position for a real fight, right? So you get 4 points for mount because you can punch the guy. But in Jiu-Jitsu, because there's no punching, that's why they make points, because it incentivizes you to do something, right? So, but sometimes still in the gym, you're fighting, the guy doesn't care about points. You can't punch the guy, you can't do anything like that to make him uncomfortable. So it can be really hard when they like lock up tight with their elbows, right? So there's different ways for making the guy uncomfortable. A really common one is obviously like really strong shoulder pressure on the neck. That can be a very powerful way. Like coming in here, grabbing with 2 fingers and then pulling in really tight like this. I like one where you grab up here on the chest like this and you pull this in really tight and get a lot of pressure, and those situations will create a lot. But one I really like that works well for me, especially if you're like smaller fighting someone big and strong, because when you get tight, they can roll you sometimes, is really good knee on belly pressure. So one big problem people have when they try to go to knee on belly is that, okay, this is the way I usually do it is I put my thumb in the collar here, and I use some shoulder pressure behind the chin here. Not a ton of shoulder pressure, just enough to keep him there. And then I grab the hip here, the material right by the hip, and I use my palm to keep his hip pinned down. And then I'm gonna jump up here and go to knee on belly. That's a very classic setup. The difficulty is a lot of times guys will have this elbow and knee tight. So I'll be in like side, let me get in just a little bit first, right? So I'll be inside a little bit, but then he's kind of tight with that elbow and knee, and it's just really hard. Every time I try to come up, he's blocking that space out. So this is a trick I picked up when I used to train with Lucas Lepre. It really, really helped my pressure from side control. So what I do is instead when I come up, I'm gonna come up with my left knee. And I put the weight right here on his chest. You can get kind of like the rib cage, collarbone area. You can even go to the neck sometimes. So he's in really tight here, he's all focused on this. You pop up here and you can start putting a lot of pressure here. And instinctually the guy does just what he did there, which is he brings the hands up to defend this pressure, which opens the space up here, right? So again, we start here, he's in really tight, I can't get my knee in. Boom, I come up and get that pressure. Now my right knee can switch back in, okay? So here, this is where I like to be pretty mean when I'm trying to do this, is I like to slide my knee back and I find their floating rib, like the really low rib cage. Because if I just stay up here, I have some pressure. When I come back here a little bit, I can really get that floating rib and just move my knee around a lot and make the guy uncomfortable. As he really tries to push this off a lot, I can switch back up to this knee. Uncomfortable here, and you keep doing this, right? And you keep alternating, just frustrating the guy, and then things will start opening. So if the guy's like this, and you're trying to dig an arm bar or something, it can be really hard. As you make the guy uncomfortable, he has to start doing things. Sometimes guys will just give you the submission because they're so sick of being getting hurt in the position or being the discomfort, right? So I come up here. So often once I come up here, I do this enough, things start to open. So one common one that'll open, obviously, is this one here, where the guy pushes on your knee and you see this underhook. I just grab the underhook. There's so many variations of these finishes. I'm not gonna go super in depth in it, but I could pull in here and go for a Kimura. You could go here for the classic Marcelo armbar where you step through. All of those are great. Another really good one here, when I come up like this, is what I like to do is I switch to this sleeve and then I go to the cross collar. This cross collar and sleeve control knee on belly is so strong. Because not only that, I can now pull them up and create the strong pressure, and often guys will turn away a little bit. And then here, yeah, usually I can see how this elbow goes so far across that it's easy to sit down and drop over it for the armbar, right? And again, a lot of these, they're just very classic finishes, but adding in that discomfort factor makes a huge difference, right? Okay, so again, we're here, we come up, maybe we do this one first, we go back and forth here. Another really easy one is I just shoot this hand in and we just go for the classic baseball bat choke, right? From here, I can either lead with the forearm first if I need to. I'll lead with my knee over his arm first so that I can cut, switch up here, north, south, get a nice tight finish here. Right, and again, I don't have to rush anything, right? I don't want to waste energy. Jiu-Jitsu is about efficiently using your energy. It's not just beating strength, it's efficiently using your energy. If you have a 10-minute match, you can't waste a ton of energy, right? So if I come up and try to force the arm out and dig it out, I'm using all this energy. But if I just sit here, and it's like five minutes left in the match, and I just sit here and I just hook the guy going back and forth like this, annoying him and stuff, and then the situation starts to open, now I start getting the attacks, like that. Okay? All right, guys, let me know if you guys have any questions about different attacks from side control, knee on belly. I'm gonna do another video this week. Let me know if you have any requests. As always, if you guys like the content, the best way to help the channel is like, share, subscribe. Also, I have content on Grappler's Guide, so if you guys want more organized positions, like with a full series and system, check that out. I have my coupon code in the description. Thanks a lot.